If you run any kind of a website, I strongly urge you to pay attention for the next couple of minutes because this is extremely important. I'm talking about SSL, otherwise known as Secure Sockets Layer. This is what determines whether or not your website is secure when people decide to visit it in their web browser. And this is extremely important because it can drastically affect your site on a number of different levels. You build up a trust factor when people are visiting your site and they can see that it's secure. You can also see that a site is secure by just simply going to it in your web browser. So some people actually leave sites that are not secure. But even more important than all of those things, if you get traffic from Google or you hope to get traffic from Google search rankings, this has become an increasingly larger portion of that ranking algorithm of theirs. So if you are not doing this on your own websites, quite simply, your Google search rankings are being affected by it. Now, I mentioned before that browsers will actually label your site as being secure or not secure. So this can drastically affect whether people decide to stay on your website or not. You can also get better Google search rankings from having a secure site and simply build trust with your site visitors. Now, I know just simply telling you these things doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I don't want you to just take my word for it. I would like to actually show you some hard proof today that these things that I'm telling you are absolutely true. Now, Google actually started taking this into account for their search rankings back in 2014. However, this trend has been increasing over time. You can actually see here in this report that just within 2017, over the course of about a month or so, Google has increased the number of secure sites showing up in the rankings by about 2.5% or so. And again, this is just within a 30-day time period. I mentioned back in 2014, that's when Google started all this. This is from the official Google blog, and they announced back in August of 2014 that secure sites using an HTTPS connection are now becoming a ranking signal. This means that if you have it, it can boost your search rankings, and if you don't have it, it can lower your search rankings. Now in 2016, again here on the same official Google blog, they announced that this is becoming even more important. And in fact, more recently in 2017, they again announced this and said that they're going to crank up the power that secure sites have within their ranking algorithm. They actually show you some hard proof in terms of not just their search engine rankings, but also the general reception of these secure websites. Over the course of time, people browsing secure websites are becoming more and more numerous. You can see there's an upward trend across every different operating system that people are sticking more to these secure websites. Google also releases transparency reports. As you can see here, the number of pages that are using these secure connections that are actually being loaded up, the amount of time that people are spending browsing these types of pages, again, are increasing over time. Another transparency report of theirs specifies that up to 25% of all website traffic worldwide goes through 100 particular websites, and every single one of these websites is actually using a secure connection. So there's an obvious reason, and the big players in the internet industry are aware of this, and they are already taking advantage of it. Other websites have done very in-depth reports analyzing whether or not sites are actually using HTTPS and whether it's affecting their search engine rankings or not. This site analyzed 10,000 of the top domain names and found some very staggering statistics from it. 60% of these websites are not using these secure connections whatsoever. And the people that are actually using it, only about 10% of them have configured this correctly. So if you're not getting this right, it actually will not help you. Google will realize this. And again, this can affect your search engine rankings. Now, I want to show you some even harder proof. Going to the actual Google search engine, and you can try this for yourself. Go to Google and search for a term. It might be a term that you hope to rank for. It might just be any random keyword phrase that you can think of. Bypass the actual advertisements that you will likely see up at the top of those search engine rankings and start looking at the websites themselves. Searching for the term cars, number 1 is using a secure connection. Number 2 is not using a secure connection. However, all of the other websites ranking in the top 10 here are using them. HTTPS, HTTPS, and so on and so forth. Now, when you try and visit one of these websites using the Google Chrome browser, and just in case you're not aware of this, Google Chrome, the browser, is actually the most popular web browser these days. Up to about 73% of all internet traffic is now using this one particular browser. You can see when I'm on the Google website that it shows me this little padlock and it says that this site is secure. Visiting cars.com is also padlocked and showing me as being secure. However, when I visit a site that is not secure, it lacks that information. And in fact, when you look a little deeper into this, it specifically tells you that your site is not secure. This is what is actually causing some people to leave websites that are not using this site security. Again, you can continue searching a number of different keyword phrases on Google, and you will continue to see this same trend. Remember a little earlier, I was showing you that more than 50% of sites showing up in the top 10 Google rankings nowadays are using this secure connection. Number 1 is using it. Number 2 is using it. Number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Best Buy down at number 7 is not using it, but the likely reason why they are still able to show up in these top 10 rankings is because they're a very well-known large authority type of a website. They've been around for a long time. So some sites like this that are really powerful websites, they might be able to get away with it. But many of the less powerful websites have to rely upon these secure connections nowadays, or else they are just simply not going to get great search rankings anymore. Now, the entire process of actually setting up a secure website or converting a non-secure website into a secure website can be rather daunting for somebody that does not know what they are doing. Even for people that do know what they are doing, as I mentioned before, only about 10% of websites that attempt this actually get it right and are benefiting from this boost in their search rankings. So I would like to teach you exactly what you need to do with new websites and even with all of your existing websites to make them secure so you can start getting this search engine ranking increase, and so your site visitors will simply trust your site a lot more. No matter what the objective might be of your website, having that trust value in place will bring major benefits. So I would like for you to join me for this live online training series. You're going to get to join me for 4 live webinar classes. Each of these classes is going to come with a quick reference guidebook. This will simply help you to refer back to key points from the lesson, so you don't necessarily have to review the entire lesson later on if you are just simply trying to remember 1 or 2 particular things. You will also get permanent access to the video recordings from those live classes. So if you do want to go back and watch it all, you can do that at any point in time. During each of these 4 live classes, I'm also going to hold a live question and answer session. So you can directly ask me in real time any question you want about what I am teaching you, and I will be able to give you an instant reply. Plus, for anybody that joins this training series, I am going to give you an exclusive WordPress scanning plugin that will actually check to make sure that you have done this work correctly on your site so that it's actually secure. That way, you will not be one of the 90% of websites that does this incorrectly. All you have to do to join me for this live training series, look down below the video, click on the payment button, and complete your payment, and you will then get to join me for all of this training and receive all of the benefits that you are seeing on your screen right now.